Hi, this is Eric Metcalf, and you're watching the Unhappy Hour.
Broadcasting to you live from the Milky Way Galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, California, Los Angeles, to be specific. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Unhappy Hour here on the TNAM network. My name is Brian Engelman, and I am your host, as I have been for the past 7 years. 7 years, I tells ya. I don't know how that happened. I blinked, and it went from 2011 to 2018, and here we are. I want to thank you for participating in all of the ways that you are following what we're doing. Those ways are, if you're on this camera, you're in our Facebook group. It's a private group. You got to be an Indians, Cavs, Browns, or Buckeye fan, or Blue Jackets, and just generally have a love for being funny and sharing and breaking and conversating, I said conversating, discussing the important and interesting news of the day. You do a search for The Unhappy Hour Sports Show, a support group. Invite your friends. It's a great group. I love it. I can't remember the last time I've really gone to other outlets for my main source of sports news, especially if you're an Indians, Cavs, Browns, or Buckeye fan. It's the best. Now, if you're watching on this camera, it's youtube.com/TheNewAmericanMedia. Please click subscribe and leave your comments below. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. Finally, the place that we have recently started is Instagram.com/TheUnhappyHour. So we're going to have a whole bunch of sports stuff over there, which is different from Instagram.com/TheNewAmericanMedia, which is all of the politics and current events and interesting things going on. Just to recap what's going on in the sports world, Stipe got knocked the F out in what some people were saying was very choreographed, that okay, maybe he got caught by an elbow, and it did look like he took a solid hit, but then you got Brock Lesnar up there going WWE. We can talk about that if you want. You got boys that are trapped in a cave in Thailand. It's a story I've been following pretty closely. Thoughts and prayers, Anthony Jeselnik, you turd, are going out to them, just trying to send as much goodwill and positive thoughts that they can be rescued instead of drowning. It's a story that could go sideways real quick, and they've been pretty successful getting people out, although one of their air quote Navy SEALs, they're not really SEALs, but whatever the best Thailand has to offer, one of them did unfortunately pass away. Something went wrong with their breathing apparatus. So let's hope that they can get out safe and sound. Apparently this is some sort of a ritual or an initiation. Boys going into transitioning into men, going through puberty, just being in the cave, something after, it's a sports story. It's a sports team, and they're stuck in a cave. So let's just root for them to get out. What else is going on in the world of sports? The Tribe are sliding, lost a couple now. We're hot for a minute. I don't know. This team, they're typical Cleveland Indians. If our bullpen wasn't terrible, maybe we could be 15, 20 games up in the division instead of around 10. But still, we're in first place, and all you got to do is punch your ticket, and you got to get Corey Kluber hot, and we got a chance. You got a chance to win a World Series. Maybe we go out and get Manny Machado, trade a couple prospects away. Who knows? We will see. Cleveland Browns, hey, we're only days away for this thing starting. I'm so excited for what the Browns are doing. We can get into that a little bit more. The Cavaliers, we got Jetty Osman and Colin Sexton doing pro basketball type player things in NBA Summer League. You have Damien Lillard coming out talking about the WNBA, which is probably where we're going to start today's show. Not so much on the Buckeye front, and I don't know what else I got, but hey, let's welcome in Greg Moore. Greg time, how are you today, sir?
Hello. How's it going?
Living the dream, man. Good having you back.
All right, it's been a while.
It has been a while, man.
Good to be here.
It is good to have you here. So,
right.
I guess the main story we wanted to start talking about was the WNBA. It was an interesting quote. It was something that popped on our radar earlier, and it just, there's a lot of different angles we can take on it. So maybe kind of get us up to speed on what that was.
Well, speaking of speed, we're going to say it's a very slow time of the year that we're going to start with WNBA in any fashion whatsoever. So, so the main thing is, actually, I noticed it today on my number one place to go for sports is the Unhappy Hour Sports Group, because just so many people put different things up there. Little shameless plug there for you. But
I'll take it.
Yeah. But no, so Damien Lillard says that the WNBA players deserve respect and deserve to make more money. I mean, I understand the respect thing, but the money part is just it sounds like a gender thing, but it's just hard to, how do I say it, like, generate money when your league doesn't make any money. Like, you could, you complain about the MLS not making enough money, or like arena football. I mean, it's just, there has to be a product there. I mean, I know we do print money in this country, but I mean, you have to have advertisers. You have to have, TV contracts. It's just, I don't think a lot of thought went into what he was saying there.
I mean, maybe, and I'm trying to think it through because, I got a few different thoughts on it.
There's several angles we could hit this with.
Yes, angles. Title IX. Let's start there, because a lot of the lady basketballers, a lot of the WNBA players came from college systems. I don't know the statistics, but I'm guessing damn near close to 100% of the people in the WNBA came from UConn. I think just UConn. They're all graduates of UConn, right? Every player.
And one from Baylor.
One from Baylor, and then two from Tennessee. Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
No, but I'm pretty sure most of the players in the WNBA came from NCAA women's basketball. And there's something called Title IX. And Title IX, do we want to pull up and actually get a fair representation of what Title IX is? Here, I'll pull it up just so I can read a little bit about it, so we're on the same page.
Okay.
This says Title IX, sports bras and athletic swimwear.
That's the first thing that popped up, yes.
Yeah, that's pretty perfect. Because someone did say if you want higher ratings, get some skimpier outfits.
Yes.
And you go, well, okay, that's sad but true. Would ratings be higher if it was like the lingerie league? I don't know.
I'm not going to lie. I've seen more women's volleyball and tennis than I have WNBA, so.
Women's volleyball, man. So, 1972, it's a federal civil rights law in the United States, passed as part of the Education Amendments. This public law, here we go. No person in the United States shall, on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any education program or activity receiving federal financial assistance. So, what Title IX has done is a lot of stuff. Title IX has, and I got paragraphs here. I could kind of break this down and without getting too far into the weeds. It's really a redistribution of college athletic wealth. This has been used as the impetus, as the Roe versus Wade of collegiate sports, to be pointed to as case law, saying, well, we need more funding for our sports. And so they're basically taking from the college football programs, the men's basketball programs, and reallocating a lot of those resources towards women's athletic programs. And so that component is something that's worth considering here. Obviously, Damien Lillard's not talking about doing that on a, he's just saying these ladies are good and they should make more money. I think he's just making a pitch for more people to go watch it. It came out clunky, and it was just him with 30 seconds in front of somebody with a cell phone camera. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But let's pretend we're not giving him the benefit of the doubt. Let's pretend this is the Bernie Sanders generation of the fact that everything is a right and everything needs to be redistributed so that we're all equally miserable. Maybe part of the mindset of the WNBA's expectations of being bigger and better are coming from being artificially inflated by the funding from men's collegiate football and men's college basketball. And then you get to the big dance and nothing's funding and subsidizing your product, and you see the empty stands, you go, well, why are they empty? Well, okay, this is the free market here. It's a little different. So, Greg, let me just bounce it back to you. I gave you a million angles to kind of chew on there. Take it wherever you want.
Well, what you said, that there's nothing that the funding for the WNBA comes right from the NBA. So, I mean, I guess it's Title IX kind of, I mean, obviously, it's an NBA product. It's a not David Stern. It's an Adam Silver product. It was his idea. I guess it was it came off the popularity, I believe, of what was it? The Olympics when the women won the Olympics that year. I don't know if they have. I guess I have to Google this. We should do some research here. But when the women's team won the Olympics, I guess it was very popular. So I guess they tried to make some money off that, and for college basketball as well, to move up to the WNBA there. And it just has not worked out. But every team is in an NBA city. So like, remember the Cavs had the Rockers. Where I live, Charlotte had the Sting. So they're obviously funded by. So it's a distribution too. I mean, they're not making their own money. So I don't know how to bounce off that any further. But
yeah, I think we could probably break this
without
down.
pointing fingers. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sitting here trying to sift through, like, Title IX is a complicated thing, equity in athletics, and they're saying between 1981 and 99, University Athletic Departments cut 171 men's wrestling teams, 84 men's tennis teams. And they're kind of getting at that. Yeah, some teams have been cut, both men and women, but when you have to dump more money into the women's sports that are not generating a revenue, it's coming at the expense of the other products.
Right.
There are finite resources. When someone like Bernie Sanders just wants to, healthcare for all, it's a right, everything's a right, housing's a right, the rent is too damn high. It's like, yeah, all this stuff sounds good if you're running for the first grade president, of your elementary school, and you're in student council. Like, there should be no homework. Yay! Mm-hmm. That sounds great, but break it down. How are you going to learn?
Vending machines in every room.
Vending machines in every locker.
I think I quoted Saved by the Bell. Sorry.
By the way, have you seen that Zach Morris is trash?
Mm-hmm. I have.
Come on, those are great, right?
They are great. Season 1 is great. Season 2, I feel a little repetitive, but yeah.
Oh, I didn't know we're on multiple seasons. No, but look, what I'm saying with Title IX and all this stuff, and with the Bernie Sanders generation of snowflake millennials, it's just there's the reallocation, the redistribution, the lack of accountability. You can just think about the Ghostbusters franchise, wildly successful back in the '80s. Then they did a reboot. It was all female, and the amount of backlash that was generated from that. And a lot of accusations and a lot of commentary about redefining gender roles and taking characters and changing them around, and why wasn't this new Ghostbusters as successful? And it's like, well, can it be because it wasn't funny? Is it are we allowed to say because it was not a funny movie? It was not as funny as the one with the men? Are we allowed?
That was my review.
When everybody's looking for a reason to be offended, I think it's important to just kind of take a step back and look at it for what it is. The WNBA is not all that interesting.
I was just saying, it's not as exciting as the NBA. It's just a different product. And it's not to be insulting to women. It's just a different, I don't know. It's just not as exciting. I mean, maybe they can lower the hoops to like 8 feet or something.
Why couldn't?
But I guess that would be, but that would, it's just not. It's not interesting. I'm sorry. It's just.
Why couldn't they lower the hoops? I think if more people were dunking, it'd be more interesting. I would love to see a bunch of female athletes dunking on each other.
Or just change the rules, make more scoring. I don't have a 4-point line, or.
I don't know. It's just entertainment.
Play on ice. I don't know. Something. I don't know. I made that up.
Did you say Ed Ice?
Play on ice. I don't know. Something to make it more exciting. I don't know. Get some. Yeah.
No, but I mean, Damien Lillard saying they should make more money. It's like, well, are you donating your salary, Damien?
Right.
Let's be careful here. Like, it's very easy to tell everybody else what they should be doing. I remember this story from The Onion, one of my favorite publications, satire, comedy, humor, and it said something along the lines of like 90%. I'm trying to think how it was phrased, but I'll just make something up. 97% of Los Angeles residents want everyone else to use public transportation. It's like, I don't want to sit on the subway with the bum. I want you to sit on the subway with the bum. I want to drive. not, I don't want to sit in bumper-to-bumper traffic. It's easy to point at other people and say, well, they should be making more money. Oh, they should. Who are you going to force people to go to these games?
Right.
It comes from the funding that's generated. I mean, it's either an interesting product or it's not. And the NBA has been subsidizing this league for a long time. I have no problem with the WNBA, but I've never gone to a game.
No.
There was a lady in front of me at the grocery store, and the cashier recognized the lady, and they talked for a second, maybe took a selfie or exchanged information, and apparently the lady in front of us was in the WNBA for the Los Angeles lady team, whatever it's called. Is it the Sparks?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Why do I know that?
When did Cleveland lose the Rockers?
I was discussing this the other day with somebody on.
I didn't even know they were
this page
gone.
actually. I think 2002.
The year before we drafted, we had to trade the Rockers to get LeBron.
Yes.
I don't know about that. In hindsight, maybe we should have kept the Rockers.
They'd both be gone.
The Rockers only left us once.
Right.
No, look, like if I was personally invited by somebody from the grocery store line, I would go. I would go check out maybe I would go, but maybe not. If parking's $25 and I got to spend $15 for a beverage, maybe I wouldn't. I don't know.
But there is a possibility that maybe like Damien Lillard was just saying this as in respect of like these women are athletes, and taking their side for a second here, is that he's just saying, of course he's speaking out to her, and you said it was a cell phone that caught him saying this. So maybe just he's just saying these are athletes and they deserve more money. Because did he ever say that they deserve NBA money?
I think he said more.
Which I think James Harden this year could buy the WNBA twice. So
yeah, James.
I don't know. Or maybe it was a plant by Adam Silver to get more people to go to the games because Damian Lillard loves it.
They're trying to get Damien to Los Angeles. That's been the latest thing for a while.
I mean, I live my life by what Damian Lillard does, so why should anyone else?
Well, all right. Look, I don't know.
No sarcasm there.
I just think it's silly because this generation, something about social media, something about the people that we've raised, something about the people that have gone through the indoctrination camps that we call our public school system and the college system. And I got to tell you, I was always aware that the college system was very slanted and skewed, and it was indoctrination. But I had no idea until recently that it's prevalent in the elementary schools even. So the kids that are growing up, they're getting this warped, twisted garbage from the administrators, the teachers, it's the same social justice warriors that you see on MSNBC and stuff, and it's just it's not good. So we see stories of outrage every single day. I was hoping to find a shareable version of the transgender story. That's another one. You want to talk about Title IX? How about Title whatever this one is? Like a guy now says that he's a woman and he's going to participate in an athletic event against women and win. This is progressive. This is an advancement in 2018. No, it's not. I don't know how we got to this place where we're all supposed to pretend that up is down and left is right. But sports used to be a safe haven from the weird stories. Now it's like front and center. It's almost like the battlegrounds because the political people, you can argue about abortion, you can argue about minimum wage, you can argue about tax cuts, you can argue about, social issues and economic issues. Those people are already tuned into the CNBCs and the Fox News and all that stuff. They got to get people in the sports world now, the entertainment world. And I honestly think that's part of why LeBron moved to Los Angeles. I know I'm hitting you with a lot of different perspectives here, but have you noticed that a big change in sports, that it's become very politicized where it didn't used to be?
Yeah, it's almost like they've run out of venues to for their political agenda. So let's go to sports now. People watch sports. So let's hit them there. Yeah, I mean and it gets ratings, So
it does.
That's what you're looking for. I mean, ESPN might as well be Fox News, CNBC at the time, anyways.
Yeah, I like to think that we're kind of the anti-ESPN.
Yeah,
a little bit. I don't. They're ABC and Disney.
Correct.
They're very very touchy. You really have to toe the company line, the party line, or else you're not welcome on those networks.
And Marvel, and Star Wars, and soon to be Fox. Yeah.
And Fox.
Yeah. They're buying everything, as the Simpsons predicted, but we won't get into that because we'll be here all night.
Simpsons did it. No, you're right. They did. But the Fox
we'll
thing
into a morning show by that time. So
the Fox thing didn't go through yet.
It didn't yet.
I don't think so. But yeah, I don't know the transgender stuff too. I used to bartend at a club that had drag nights and back in college and all this stuff. It's like whatever people want to do. If people aren't harming other people, like, where is it our business to care one way or another what anybody does? But if you're going to be in a wrestling ring, if you're going to be competing, like, there's a reason why boys' sports and girls' sports are segregated. And this isn't a bad thing. This isn't to knock.
Well, I mean, there's a reason to make it fair competition, too. It just sounds like this guy maybe was tired of losing. So, we'll pick on some, that's a joke, but yeah. So, I'm sure there's other issues behind it, but.
I just couldn't imagine going into school one day saying, I now identify as a girl. So I'm gonna go run this track and field event, or I'm gonna throw a shot put.
And now, there's people they racially identify, like, it's transracial now is a thing too. So
everything is a thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling Eskimo today, so let's talk about that.
By the way, Eskimo's racist. Did you know that?
I'm sorry. It is
Inuit. Maybe?
Yes, I'm feeling Inuit.
Yes.
Right now, so.
You're not allowed to say Eskimo according to some.
I apologize.
Apparently, welcome to 2018. It's a weird place. But anyway, how about let's shift from basketball over to men's basketball, from the WNBA to the NBA.
Right.
With LeBron James.
So we're not going to talk about Steph Curry then.
You do have a famous Steph Curry meme that pops out once a year. Maybe it won't pop out next year because I sense a lot of people are going to care less about the NBA this year. There's 3 or 4 super teams, and I don't know that many other teams are going to take the time to become invested in this stuff anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it must still be profitable. I mean, I guess. Well, here's what it is. Okay, so I'll lay this out for you. I live in Charlotte, and that team's horrible. I mean, absolutely horrible. Lose my phone here. Hold on, sorry.
The Sting?
No, that's their WNBA team.
No.
They might as well be the Sting. They have the same amount of wins. But people go to see other teams. So, I mean, I think it's where you make your money as the NBA, is having these super teams come by. Like, the Cavs play down here 3 times a year, and the place is sold out. So, I think it's terrible for the league. There's no parity. But, I mean, the Warriors are just dominant as they are, and then they pick up Boogie Cousins. It's just, I don't know. So you said there's, 4 super teams? Yeah. And I don't count the Lakers as one, but.
I mean, the Lakers aren't done, but it's interesting that he wasn't able to get anybody to play with him.
Yeah, so that was I mean, maybe he is a pain in the locker room. Maybe that's why Kyrie wanted to go.
I mean,
I think Kevin Love's just a genuinely nice guy and just, whatever. I'll win here. I don't know.
Yeah, talking about the parity of the league and the success of the league, Greg, with the NBA, it's interesting because you look at football, and we're learning more and more about chronic traumatic encephalopathy and the concussions and the brain damage and the problems that's causing. You could legitimately look at football and say, this is a sport that's going to be in trouble down the road. This is a sport that may not endure the test of time. It's possible. But something like the NBA, it's like there aren't, you don't have concussion issues quite like you do in football. So the sport seems like something healthy that could continue on that path. But I don't see it as being healthy, only having a couple of competitive teams and then a bunch of garbage teams.
It's just it's so superstar driven. It's more superstar driven than any other sport on the planet, except for like tennis because it's 1-on-1. But and the superstars have figured out how to control it. Which they're the one making the product. I understand. But they found loopholes of how to go here, take less money to do this, and it just, it might just boil down to eventually that it gets so bad that their product will suffer, and then they can't make the kind of money that they do now. The salary cap, they had that one big because they that big influx of the ESPN TV contract, and that's when the Warriors had the money to sign Durant, And then after that, the salary cap went back down, and it might keep happening. Where they'll find a way to, I don't know. You need parity in sports, and they figured out a way to not have that, like where they just want to play with their friends because they're good, like they can beat up on other teams pretty much.
Well, just seeing that the Cavs are becoming the minor league system for the Lakers and the Celtics again. It's like, come on, are we really back to that? Is this, this is not the late 80s or early 90s. You don't need New York, Los Angeles, and Boston and all of the flyover states.
No, because you can watch any game at any time on any, yeah, I agree.
It's never been less relevant to play in a major market. And that's where I'm questioning LeBron's decision. Do you think LeBron put himself in a better position to win with the Los Angeles Lakers? Why do you think he did what he did? I know it's tough to get inside the mindset of King James, but do you see him on a better team with a better chance to win than he was with the Cavs?
No. So when this happened, what I posted on Facebook is that he's not more worried about his legacy; it's more about his brand, and I think it's more obvious now than ever. And I think we were blinded by it because he came back to his hometown. And it was a story. It sold more. It just sold. That was like, now he's the good guy, so this is going to sell more shoes or whatever. And now he's on to LA, and he's going to take them to the playoffs eventually, or make more movies or Space Jam 2. It's going to sell more product. It's good for his brand. Or Savannah's going to own another, I don't know, slushy shop or whatever she had down there in Miami, whatever smoothie shop. It's all about his brand, and it's just like we were blinded because we thought, and I thought it too. Like, okay, this guy gets it. He lives here. It's suffered for so long. I'm going to come back here. I'm going to do this. It just made him money.
And he said,
because he could have stayed and made almost like, I don't want to say double, but a lot more money signing the max deal with Cleveland. Hometown hero. Because Jordan never went anywhere. He's Chicago. He's a terrible one of the Hornets now, but he's Chicago. You know what I'm saying? He's known as Chicago. That's his team.
Went to
LeBron
Washington
have 3
for a season.
So.
Yeah, are there people that weren't going to watch a LeBron movie because he was in Cleveland? Are there people that weren't going to buy his shoes because he was in Cleveland? No. I don't see what and someone else said, anybody that wants to do a project with LeBron, whether it's television, whether it's a website, whether it's product, merchandising or fashion, is there anybody that's not going to take a call from LeBron James?
Because of the 216 area code?
Is somebody turning?
No, that can't be him. Hang it up.
Yeah.
Well, I think you said this on your show the other night. I was listening to that. LeBron is bigger than wherever he goes.
LeBron doesn't need LA. LA needs LeBron. This is a city of transients and of transplants. It's hard to keep a football team here. Yeah, for a decade, 2 decades, or however long there's been no football here. Now we get 2 teams back and nobody's going to the games. Yes, some people are going, but it's not diehard, rabid, passionate fans. It's the USC crowd that wears the penny loafers and the Dockers, and they're having their tailgate party with lobster bisque, on the tailgate of their Escalade, and they hired somebody to come out, and it's just different.
Sounds like Panthers fans.
Panther fans?
Mm-hmm.
What do they do? Chardonnay and
Chardonnay and whatever brie is available at that time at the store.
Whatever brie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get how joining the Lakers puts LeBron in a better position to win. And if he's not in a better position to win, why did he leave?
And the only thing I can think of, if we put it that way, is just, big middle finger to Dan Gilbert. Like, screw you. But I don't see why.
Why? He spent into the luxury tax every season. He paid his boys Tristan, and everybody else that he wanted to get paid got paid. I mean,
we're hitting all kinds of angles on this show. I'll tell you why. This could be an angle too. You know what I'm going to say, right? It's because Gilbert's a Trump supporter. Drives LeBron nuts. You've heard this theory.
Go ahead. Elaborate on it a little bit.
Well, I mean, it's just LeBron's anti-Trump, as most of NBA is, and WNBA probably, and to toss that in there, and so Gilbert is a huge Trump supporter. I'm sure he, gave him some campaign funds there, and LeBron came out to LA where it's very, very liberal.
They're saying that LeBron made his decision. Now, I've heard other reports that LeBron basically knew this after the championship that he was coming to LA, and I don't know why he signed a 1-year deal. Maybe just to stay on the Cavs long enough to try to trade Isaiah Thomas for big expensive pieces like Jordan Clarkson and what have you back to the Cavs so that he could go join it's like son of a bitch. Why did we make that trade? But
he heard it was really cool to hang out with Drake Crowder.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
But I heard that he made the decision after a meeting with Gavin Newsom, who's kind of set to be the next governor of California.
Oh, okay.
And they had a meeting, and thinking about the political angle, LeBron has been very anti-Trump. He was very pro-Hillary. The Beyonce and Jay-Z pro-Hillary nonsense that was going on, and the levels of disrespect where LeBron, he wouldn't refer to him by name and he'd call him out directly and publicly with his political slant. I wonder if LeBron turned his nose up at the entire state of Ohio for voting for Trump to go to an ultra-liberal place like Hollywood that really doesn't have a bearing on reality other than its own reality. I mean, out my office window, I can see the Hollywood sign. I've been here for 13 years. I've been in Los Angeles longer than I've been a LeBron fan. I've been a LeBron fan for 11 years, and I've been in LA for 13.
I'm going to stop you real quick. You're a Cavs fan.
First and
that's
foremost,
what I tell people too. I'm a Cavs fan. LeBron just happened to play for my team.
I was a Mark Price, Brad Daugherty, Larry Nance Cavalier fan back at the
John Hot Rod Williams.
Hot Rod Williams, Craig Elo, Terrell Brandon. Yes, all of the guys.
Mike Sanders.
Zajunas Ilgauskas. Mike Sanders. Right. Wow. I like Tyrone Hill. I like Tyrone Hill's game. He was good.
Paul McCaskey, the sexiest man alive.
You got to remind me of some of these guys. But Bobby Phills.
Yep.
Well, that one. Yeah, I root for Laundry first and foremost, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying...
So to say you're a LeBron fan is incorrect. Like, because you were a LeBron fan, then you would have been a Miami fan. And then you would have been... Now you're an LA fan.
I rooted heavily...
It's your right to be.
I rooted heavily against LeBron when he joined the cheat. I did not like Miami LeBron at all. I still can't watch those highlights. It makes me sick. I'm trying to grow, but I'm a very petty sports fan. That's why it's called the unhappy hour. We get unhappy when we are dealing with the rooting passions of things. If you don't care, then why do you care? And if you're going just to go, then you're a Los Angeles fan. You can be Jack Nicholson watching. like you're just there for the party. That's cool, but that's not what sports is. And, for as much as LeBron gave us, and it's the only championship from a major Cleveland sports team I've had in my entire existence on this planet. I'm not discounting it. I flew back home for the parade. I loved it. But what he did to decimate downtown now, the hotels, the bars, the restaurants, the vendors, all of the things. Bron, you took your empire away from your peeps, dude. You can go back and ride your bicycle with your goofy helmet in Akron. I know you're going to do that in a couple weeks, and that's good. You've done a lot of good things. And all the money you're giving for the kids for their college, I'm fairly certain these are donations through a fund, so it's not really your personal money. But I can't discount that in any negative way. I think it's fantastic that you're giving some hope to some of these kids. But, I mean, you bailed on us again. You told us you didn't have the energy to do this. You said you didn't have it in you to do this again.
Yep.
And look, you're in your hyperbaric chamber. You're in your cryogenic thing. You played all 82 games for the first time in your career last year. Like, you're defying age. You're defying gravity. You're defying mathematics here. So maybe you found a renewed energy where you could do it again. And maybe you will come back too. I don't know, but I mean, it hurts Cleveland for him to leave again.
But will he be welcome back? Yes. Maybe.
I mean, did you see the...
As they say, like, time heals all wounds. Like, I mean, when we left for Miami, it's like, if he ever comes back, who cares? Screw this guy. I mean, championships solve a lot, especially for Cleveland, because, we've seen one in the 38 years we've been around. Not to give away our ages, but...
Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, your birthday's coming up. What, September?
Yeah.
You're a late one.
I'll be 39.
Yeah, I got you by a couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
Well, did you see the conspiracy theory that we put out there on our Instagram page and the Unhappy Hour?
Which one?
It was like the guy from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He's at the chalkboard full of...
Charlie? Yeah. So there's
this theory...
so much to it. Like, it's just, as you were saying earlier, is he thought about this after he won in 16. So it's almost as he has his whole brand planned out.
His career is mapped out.
Yeah, which I mean, it hurts us as fans. He has every right to do it. If you have that power to make that kind of money, go for it.
He does.
But
I intend to interview him out here. Like, he's in my backyard. I've been low key setting this up in my mind. And I've wanted to have a beer summit. I want to have him and Steph Curry and Donald Trump. I want to get us all together in a room and talk about some stuff and like leave some of the name calling and the bullshit aside and just have some conversation.
Make sure you bring the wine coolers for Steph Curry.
You need your WNBA Steph Curry.
Him and his wine spritzers, yes. Sorry.
White wine spritzer.
I love it.
No, but I have had the consideration. I've had the thought. Part of me felt like I was going to leave Los Angeles a long time before now. And he's in my backyard. I've got to set up. I got to get an interview with the guy. I got to try to set up this beer summit. The kneeling and the flag and the Kaepernick. It's like, all right. I think some of this stuff is relevant. I think some of this stuff is ridiculously unfair. I think the narrative has been skewed just in such a weird way. I think there's common ground for people to have if they're willing to try.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited for the opportunity to have him in my backyard.
I mean, there's a way for you to get in, too. Tell him you're from Akron. Make it up. Tell him the Rubber Bowl story.
The Rubber Bowl story.
Yep.
That was...
Show him the picture. Tell him you met Dennis Rodman one time at Caesars.
Come on. What other stories have I told too many times? Keep going, Greg.
That's it.
That's it. Dennis Rodman, world peace.
Offhand.
I love it. So, look, I moved to Los Angeles when I was 25 years old. I left Ohio, too. Like, obviously, I'm not 6'10", 6 foot. How tall is he? 6'9"? 6'8", 6'9"?
I think he's listed as 6'8", 250, but I'm sure he's 6'9",
What
270 or something. Who knows?
Whatever it is, he's a mammoth human being, and he's really taking care of himself.
A freakish athlete.
Yeah, and I'm not going to root for him to struggle or to fail or to get injured or anything. I just, part of me is struggling, Greg, because, this guy did bring the only championship I've ever celebrated.
Right.
I'm not a Laker fan, and I never will be. I've been to Laker games, but that's usually to either check Kobe out on his last season or to watch the Cavs.
You thought the Sparks were playing?
I thought the Sparks were playing, honestly.
But, with LeBron, too, though, talking about, this, I guess a front-running culture, like you're saying, L.A. with, Jack Nicholson. LeBron himself, remember, he's a front-runner. Remember he was playing, when the Browns played the Cowboys, he's out there playing with the Cowboys, where the Yankees had the Indians game.
Uh-huh.
He grew up as he's stereotypical at that time. The teams that were good. Cowboys, Bulls, Yankees, He never showed any loyalty whatsoever until he came back after he left the Heat. And it's all facade, it seems like. So,
would you say it's odd or dishonest?
Facade. It was all a facade.
Facade. Something else. Okay.
Yeah.
Option 3.
Sorry. But it just doesn't seem genuine that he was, like he said, he was gonna retire there. He had energy to do it again.
And look,
it didn't take much energy for him to do it. He just said, "Hey, I'm gonna come to your team." There was a big media blitz. Following him everywhere.
What did you make of
the last 2 times?
What did you make of finding out? Apparently, this podcast, I need to check it out, but I've been studying up on the highlights of it. But that Kyrie never wanted him here.
Huh?
Have you read up on this? I gotta double check. It's 3 Cleveland. I think it's McMahon.
Oh yeah, it's I saw that. I didn't listen to it, but so Kyrie would just rather be a 30-win team his entire career. You could be the guy all you want, but if you're terrible, if you're a decent player on a terrible team,
what was
like Kemba Walker, he's like, I don't want any other players here. We're good. I'll be, let's win 30 games a year. I'm the guy, but
what's the Metallica song? Here's your crown, King Nothing.
Right.
You're in charge of nothing.
I don't know. It's just
It's so weird and frustrating.
It's just in general with, I guess, not to get too deep into it, but the NBA is just all about egos and I don't want this guy playing with me, but I want these 3 guys to come here, and if they don't, I'm leaving. It's just no other sport's like that. But no other sport, as I said, is so superstar driven. Even the Yankees, they can sign all the players they want and have $400 million payrolls. They're not guaranteed to win. Because half the guys you can throw a curveball and they can't hit it anyway. So,
thank God.
Right?
Let's try to take them down this offseason again. We blew it last year. And part of that is obviously because every player represents 20% of the starting lineup when you're in basketball. You got 5 players. So when
you don't hear that about hockey players. You don't hear much about hockey in general, but
although let me tell you about hockey. I got a friend out here. I've gotten to know him over the past 13 years, really. And he's got season tickets. And he's always just like, hey, you want to go to a game? I'm like, I do now. Sure. It's something to do.
I'll tell you this, and I tell people this all the time, is, it's odd that there was never a hockey team in Cleveland, a professional team growing up. You'd think that would be, it's cold there. Detroit had one. Pittsburgh had, I don't know. So that's why I don't think we are hockey fans, naturally, because we just didn't have a team.
Right.
So, otherwise, it's fun to watch. It's just we did, just getting into it.
So I decided to become a Kings fan. This year I don't even know how many games I went to. 3, 4, 5, 6. I just went to game after game, and I had to turn down. There was a stretch of, I don't know. I had 10 or 15 invites. I'm like, I can't. I'm out of town, or I'm doing this other thing. I can't. I'm like, I would go. I'd keep going.
Yeah.
So I bought an LA Kings hat. And I said, look, I'll try to cheer for the Blue Jackets, or I'll respect that a lot of our crew from the Unhappy Hour are going to be from Ohio and Columbus,
right,
and they're going to be fans of the Blue Jackets, so go Blue Jackets, I guess. But other than goalie Bob, I couldn't tell you a single thing about the team. But I can say Kopitar, because that guy has a fun name to say. And I went to a bunch of games, and it's like eighth row back from the goalie net, and it's fun.
Yeah,
I liked it.
I mean, those fans are diehard.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
And the girls that sweep the ice in between, not too bad either. Not too shabby. WNHL.
Here we go.
Is that a thing? No, but so look, it's complicated for me because I don't think I have it. I don't think I have it in me to hate LeBron James again. I don't think I have it in me to hate him anymore. He brought me a championship. What more could you possibly ask for? He doesn't owe me a damn thing. He doesn't owe Cleveland a damn thing. Let's just get that out there. That's not what I'm saying. I don't think that's what anybody at this point is saying. Even owing us a first championship, a lot of people argued, he doesn't owe you anything. So what? You drafted him. So what? He's from your backyard. I know. But, yeah, he did kind of owe us one. If you're going to be the greatest of all time, you need to at least bring one back home. I guess what I'm saying is that I understand leaving where you're from and going somewhere else better than a lot of people I know. I left at the same exact age, and I came to LA myself. LeBron
but you went out there for, how do I put this? You went out there for more opportunity. I know LA's more opportunity for his brand, I guess what I'm saying, but I don't know. It's hard to... Yeah, like you said,
he's never done the talk shows or Saturday Night Live, or he does any.
If they want to talk to him and come to Cleveland, they'll come to Cleveland. He can turn Cleveland into an empire if he want.
They would do a remote. The View would go on tour and do a week in Cleveland just to get a sit down with LeBron.
Right, and they could go to East Cleveland. The video we put up on the site, someone put up. LeBron could have his headquarters there in East Cleveland. They could go.
I just. If Paul George went and it was Damien Lillard or it was, not even Carmelo Anthony, he's no superstar anymore, but if you got Kawhi Leonard and, you built another 3 or 4 person super team in Los Angeles, you go, all right, well, it's time for us to clear out our payroll, tank our team for 2-3 years. Then when he's done playing for that top-notch team in Los Angeles, we'll get him back in time to draft Bronny. That was a conspiracy theory thing that I was telling you about earlier. I know we went off on a tangent, but it was to draft LeBron's kid, Bronny.
I had asked the question too when he wasn't where he was going to go. Is where was Bronny enrolled for high school? Was he going to go to St. Vincent St. Mary? Did anybody know? And I think that would be a decision where LeBron would stay, where someone would go to high school. But I guess the school in LA that he's going to enroll to is a big AAU pipeline. I don't know the name of it, but I can look it up.
But Greg, is there anybody who's not going to show up to coach Bronny?
Right.
Is there anybody that's not going to recruit Bronny because you don't live in Brentwood? Get the hell out of here. There's no need for LeBron to be in LA. LA's begging for someone like LeBron. There's such a huge difference.
It's such an old school mentality.
I don't understand the move at all. I just don't get it.
I mean, it's such a pre-social media, internet, almost it's almost like pre-cable TV. Sounding like mine. There's only 3 channels, so I have to go to the big until they see me. LeBron plays with the Cavs. I see, I don't know, 81 of those games a year on national TV. now I'll see 2.
Well, okay. Let's get off LeBron here for a second, because whatever.
Real quick, though, I have a question for you.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So, if, say, LeBron, and if he has all these guys on his team, it's Lakers, Warriors. Do you root against the team that you rooted against for the last 4 years, as in the Warriors, and cheer for Lakers, or do you root against LeBron because he left?
My gut instinct is to say that my dislike / hatred. But by the way, let's not forget this.
Warriors blew a 3-1 lead. Oh, I got you. Yeah.
Wait, what'd you say?
Warriors blew a 3-1 lead. They never forget that. Yeah.
We'll never let them forget that. If Kyrie and Kevin Love don't get injured that first season in 2015. We win that series.
Correct.
If the Warriors...
Mozgov could keep his feet down, too.
The phantom travel?
I know. I'm just
He didn't travel.
Oh, I know.
If we win in 2015, then we win in 2016. Now this is a good Warriors team that can't get over the Cavs hump, right?
But if they won in 2015, who do the Warriors go out and get for 2016?
Would they, though? I have a theory that a wormhole opened up in Cleveland when Donald Trump accepted the presidency nomination from the Republican committee when the Republican National Convention was held in Quicken Loans Arena. I think a wormhole opened up because the Indians were supposed to beat the Cubs.
Uh-huh.
So you had LeBron with his Illuminati magic throwing up triangles.
Uh-huh.
Did something to rip a whole, kind of send us off onto an alternate timeline in the space-time continuum. And the Cavaliers took that championship, but the flip side was the Indians had to lose in extra innings of Game 7 again at home, and Hillary Clinton had to forfeit the presidency. I feel like something weird happened in 2016.
Yeah.
And I still think we're in the middle of that. Back to the Warriors, though, it's a dynasty that almost wasn't. And if it weren't for that damn team, I mean, it's kind of like we're the Buffalo Bills.
Right.
You know, we're almost. 4 years in a row, we only have one to show for it.
Right.
It feels disappointing, Greg. It feels like we were kind of robbed.
Uh-huh. Like, imagine if Jordan ran into and, say, all the other Dream Teamers teamed up.
Barkley and Ewing and David Robinson and
Magic,
Malone,
Bird,
Stockton.
Isaiah Thomas would get his revenge for not being on the Dream Team. All that, yep.
All on the same team. And then they get Kevin Durant. Because I think in 2017 we win that title if they don't get Durant.
Yep. They found a weakness.
But they did.
Yep.
So I don't know. I feel cheated by this last dynasty. I feel cheated by 11 seasons and one championship with the alleged greatest of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Something seems wrong with that. Something seems off.
Yep.
So, I'm going to be. I'm not going to push to crown LeBron as the greatest of all time like I was when he was wearing my jersey. I'm not going to care as much. So I would imagine that I'm going to root against the Warriors. Will it be hard for me to root for LeBron in Laker gear? I think so. But I really don't want to be angry about it. I don't want. It's hard in sports. You root for your laundry and against the Steelers. You root for your laundry and against that team up north. You root for what you like and against what you dislike. Like the Cleveland Cavaliers. Yep. The Dallas Mavs.
Oh, Dallas Cavaliers. Yeah.
But, the Cavaliers. It was Cavaliers and Cavricks.
That's right.
Yeah, it was two of them. Dude, when our show was founded in 2011, that was one of the very first shows we ever did. It was with Sean Flynn and Ted Distel over at their apartment in Mar Vista. And I remember we did a whole intro with a baby crying because it was LeBron losing to the Dallas Mavericks.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so happy. And the year after that, it felt like a weight came off of my chest. It felt like a weight came off my chest because I wasn't actively cheering against LeBron anymore. I was just kind of like, whatever.
Right.
And he got his second. And then I did cheer against him with the Spurs, and, then he came back home and did his thing. But I don't know, man. Like I said, 11 years with the GOAT and only one title. It just feels like...
It's almost like a relief. I don't know. I feel like when Cleveland sports are good, it's almost stressful. Like, we're so used to losing. It's like, man, we have to watch Game 7? Jeez, this is stressful.
Well, they didn't do that to us this year.
Oh, I know.
I mean, they did in the Eastern Conference. That's how bad we were. We had to take it to 7 against...
what are we ever going to do if the Browns are good? Like, what world will we live in where you could be a cocky Browns fan?
It's happening this year. We're going to win our division and go 10-6.
You're going to be a cocky Browns fan?
Yeah. I put in my time as the lovable loser Browns
That's true.
fan.
That's true.
You know, I've been making deposits in this bank. It's time to make some withdrawals for a little bit. I mean, I went to the Browns home opener against Schittsburg last year, and then I went to the perfect season parade too. So I had like this weird perfect season bookend. Weird.
Right.
What do you well, I want to ask you about the Browns, but I wanted to talk to you about Jetty Osman and the young guys on the Cavs. Which direction you want to go?
Let's do Cavs.
What about like the young pieces we have? What do you see on this team? What do you think we do? If you're Kobe Altman,
what do you do? Like, the thing is, they changed the rules on tanking, so it's like I would say tank, but you need to put. I don't know. It's hard. Like, if you know you're not going to win, what? I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like, you want your team to be good, but you want to be mediocre the whole time.
Either you're competing for a championship, or you should be the worst team in the league.
I mean, especially the NBA.
Our regular guest, Zach Barris, he would always say, don't be the Atlanta Hawks. Don't be the number 8 seed. Don't be the 7 seed every single year. You're scratching the playoffs. You got a couple of talented players, but you're never getting past. You don't have a superstar. Like, don't be them. Just suck. Trust the process. Draft high a couple of years. Maybe you get a LeBron. Maybe you get a Kyrie Irving. And you got to get through an Andrew Wiggins. You got to get through Dion Waiters. You got to get through Anthony Bennett.
Anthony Bennett. Yep.
You know, you got a 50% success rate. It's not a guarantee you're going to hit at the top 5 picks. You just do the best you can. Kawhi came late. Draymond Green came late. Although I think Draymond's a total bum. I really dislike that guy. I don't like his game either.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think on the Warriors, not to harp on them a lot, but I don't think Draymond Green would be good on his own. Steph Curry would be a thing on his own. I think Klay Thompson would be a good player on his own, and we know Kevin Durant is. I don't know. It's just, I mean, they were very fortunate how the cards fell in their favor. It's just, it has to be a little luck. I mean, we have luck too that LeBron was born in Akron, and that, the coin flipped our way. Otherwise, we'd be talking about Darko right now. So,
Donnie Darko. Well, part of that podcast that came out where we're talking about Klay Thompson, when he said he must have got his feelings hurt, they said that was the moment where LeBron changed. That was the moment. It wasn't Draymond getting suspended. It was when Klay Thompson said he must have got his feelings hurt that everybody saw a change in LeBron, and that's how we got that championship in 2016.
I mean, to send him to another level is that's insane. And he did play another level those last 3 games, but
LeBron has played at a level. I mean, it's a little bit like getting shoeless Joe Jackson with like 8 men out, like during the Chicago Black Sox. Where some of the players were tanking intentionally and in bed with the bookies, with the gamblers and what have you. But Shoeless Joe, his stats were through the roof. You could never prove that he actually threw anything. He was kicking ass.
He was on steroids.
LeBron might be. But LeBron's 4-year run that we just had, there was the debate when LeBron came back. He looked skinnier, and you said, well, why is he coming back home? Is he done? Is he wrapping up his career? Are we getting Jenny from Forrest Gump at the end of the movie, and she's all sick, and, this guy's on his way out? Like, what are we getting here? Miami Heat did not get peak LeBron James. Cleveland Cavaliers got peak LeBron James. And what he was able to do in the playoffs, and especially the finals over the past 4 years, it's a Herculean stretch that I don't think anybody could even compare to in any sport. I don't think anybody has been more dominant than he has personally been.
He can do whatever he wants. When he wants to turn it on, it's insane. It's crazy. And it's a shame that, there's only one championship. I mean,
I'm thankful that I got to see it, but it is disappointing that we only got one title out of it.
Right.
But
who do you blame? I mean, I know we're harping on this a lot, but who do you blame for that? Is it the front office? I mean, it's just, things that, remember the first run around, like, their big trade was Wally Szczerbiak. You know? Like, you guys...
well, remember, LeBron wasn't signing the extensions that they wanted him to.
True. That's true.
So there were a lot of people in the league that were curious to play with this young stud, but if he's not going to be there, why am I going to sign long-term? And don't forget, it was LeBron kind of pressuring all of those teams to upgrade that led them to getting Wally Szczerbiak, Larry Hughes, Ben Wallace. You know, the Cavaliers spent.
Anton Jameson.
Yeah, we had
a rundown. Yeah.
Didn't we have 4 number 1 overall picks on the team at one time? It was LeBron, Shaquille O'Neal, Anton Jameson. Wasn't there one more?
Joe Smith.
Joe Smith. Bingo. I mean, we were paying for whatever we could get. We were doing the best we could. And the best we could at that time was getting players on large, expensive contracts. And, you know, LeBron used us up. He played GM. He goes passive-aggressive. And then he rolled out of town. And we had a super bloated, garbage roster. And, LeBron leaves. You're the worst team in the league. It's like, we got rid of our whole team. We got rid of our coach, and we intentionally tanked too. Don't make it seem like the Cavs have nothing. You know, and just like now. You know, Kevin Love isn't a bum. He's a 20-10 guy. Tristan Thompson, for everything he's not, he's still one of the best rebounders in the NBA. Which is fine when you got people like Kyle Korver and J.R. Smith shooting threes when they're going in. You know, like, it's just... It's tough playing with LeBron James. Chris Bosh warned Kevin Love, get ready.
Yep.
Get ready. Here you go. Yep. And remember, Chris Bosh never came back. That was the rumor for years he was going to come back. Never did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, he got his. He lobbied to make his all-star appearances, and he did. He had a good career. He went away.
And I know you guys talk about this on the other show, but like the proof is, too, I think the proof is, unless, you know, there are people waiting for next year, is that Paul George, rather go play with LeBron, rather go play with like the biggest stat hog, ball hog in the league, Russell Westbrook. And, you know, they're not going to go anywhere.
No.
Russell Westbrook has this weird stat where he like leads the league every year in unassisted rebounds. Like the team just moves out of the way. Like all his rebounds are all like free throws. I've watched this on ESPN. It's all about stats. It's crazy.
Unassisted rebounds.
Unassisted rebounds. Like, they're off, like, free throws. Or, like, you know, where the shot's just off and, like, you know, they just grab the ball in the air randomly.
And so the team defers to him is what you're saying.
Uh-huh.
Like, almost like he's asked them to.
Right.
And it's so weird that LeBron, the guy that, everybody that plays with LeBron gets better. Oh, he makes everybody around him better. Like, really? Because, you know, so who do you blame? And look, you can blame Kyrie because he's a flat-earthing weirdo. You can blame Kyrie because he listened to his cult leader pastor and his father who said you need to get out of Cleveland, the team that drafted you and signed you to the max extension at the time. Okay.
When they drove from Australia because it's flat? Oh, sorry.
Exactly. When he took the picture, the selfie of him at the edge of the earth. Yeah,
right.
Just to any flat earther, just take me a picture of the edge of it. I'll wait. You know, you got to put some blame on Kyrie and his inner circle and his weirdness and his selfishness and his ego. Put blame on Kyrie.
He wants to be a brand, too. He has his own movie out that I'm sure he's going to win several Oscars. But, I mean...
You got to put blame on Kyrie Irving.
Mm-hmm.
You have to.
Yeah.
You got to put blame on Dan Gilbert. He didn't re-sign the general manager that was able to make all of the other magic happen. You can't blame Dan Gilbert for not going in the luxury tax and spending because he did. He spent every year. Kind of gave LeBron what he wanted. But when you give LeBron what he wants, you get the bloated roster, you trade away all your draft assets, and you're stuck in purgatory where you have to lose him, purge the roster, and reboot for round 2 or round 3. But Dan Gilbert should have kept David Griffin on board. We gave
Correct.
Kyrie Irving away for nothing. He was under contract for 2 years. You tell Kyrie, pound sand, buddy. Look, next year, LeBron is a free agent. Either he re-signs here, and at which point we will trade you within 24 hours, and we will try to get a good deal with one of your top 5 preferred teams. But you're sticking it out one more year with us. Or
wasn't there an
pound
odd list of teams that you wanted to go to as well, though? Like, wasn't like Phoenix on there or something?
Knicks?
Yeah. I mean, there were a couple big market teams, but I feel like there was, I swear, like Phoenix was on there or some team that you're like, why would you? I don't know. I thought there was an odd, like there was like 5 teams. I know it was like Knicks, Celtics, Lakers for LA Sports Guy.
LA Sports Guy. Looking here,
I-
this is Kyrie Irving's list of preferred teams in a trade. This is Chris Federer.
I might be wrong, but
No. Minnesota Timberwolves.
that's what it was. Because you want to play Jimmy Butler or something. It was something weird. I don't know.
He still does want to play with Jimmy Butler.
Yep. Yeah.
The Miami Heat.
Okay.
The San Antonio Spurs. The New York Knicks.
Okay. So it was the Timberwolves I was thinking of, not the Suns. But the problem with the Cavs, like back to like with Gilbert, Irving, and LeBron, it's just there's too many egos. That's the problem. It's just so. Excuse me. It's just egos. It's just I don't know. Like I think that's the thing with the Warriors, and like they just I don't know. I hate to say it. And like Draymond's a mess, but they keep him in check. Like they gel, they get it. They some take pay cuts. I don't know. They play as a team. I don't know. They play team basketball. I don't.
By the way, let me say I could totally see Kawhi Leonard being swapped for Kyrie Irving with the Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
If
If they know Kyrie's gonna leave.
I mean, the Spurs are one of the teams you want to play.
I think the Spurs are a mess right now.
Yeah, they are. Dude,
the fact that Tony Parker want to come to Charlotte. I mean, come on.
I can't. Why in Charlotte?
I know his assistant coach is a coach here now.
I
But
guess.
for those who are watching, I live in Charlotte. That's why I keep talking about this. But,
That's true.
talk about being purgatory. I mean, that team. They need to blow it up too.
Yeah, it might be time for Michael Jordan to reconsider. But by the way, now that I have this article in front of me, this is no new information. This is an article from mid 2017 before the trade, and it says it starts here. Irving never asked for the LeBron James union. When Irving inked his 5-year extension, he believed the organization and city would belong to him. He believed the team, as bad as it had been at the beginning of his career, was going to be built around him the way that then GM David Griffin built the Phoenix Suns around Steve Nash. That's why Irving was seen dancing in celebration that night. Less than 2 weeks later, everything changed. James announced his return, and Irving's grand plans were out the window. Suddenly, his future no longer in his control. Irving has benefited greatly from James' arrival, just as so many have, but in his eyes, it came at a cost. Now he's ready for the next step in his career, looking for a way out of James' shadow, wanting the opportunity to be more of a focal point, the engine of an offense rather than the supporting player. He's hoping to finally get what he thought he was signing up for in 2014. I mean, how stupid do you have to be? You gotta blame Kyrie, and you gotta blame his ego and his stupidity and his weirdness. It's just, every player's entitled to do things how they want. Who am I to tell him otherwise? But, come on, bro, you hit the most clutch shot in NBA history.
Yeah.
You were put in the finals because of LeBron.
Yeah. They're building the team, not around you. I mean, unfortunately, the guy they brought back is better than you, but who would they bring? He's good, but he just can't carry a team. And he's hurt all the time.
And he's injury prone. He's very injury prone.
He played 9 games in college.
But you got to say that some of this falls on LeBron James' shoulders for not being able to build a relationship with Kyrie. You came here, you took this on, and you weren't able to keep him happy enough to make him want to stay. So then you want to make it look like the Cavs are a bunch of bums because J.R. Smith makes an incredible offensive rebound on something he should have never got an offensive rebound on. And he had a brain fart. So, yeah, I guess that's an indictment on the entire Cavs roster. Dude, Kyrie should have been there to kick the ball to, except you ran him out of town.
Right.
But Kyrie's crazy too, so I can't blame LeBron all the way. So, look, man, I'm
Egos, man. It's all about
mixed.
egos.
I'm mixed on this, which is why I'm finding it hard to have a lot of animosity in me toward LeBron James. So I'm not feeling it right now. I'm gonna try to keep it at bay as best I can. Try to keep it at bay because I don't know that it's gonna do me any good. I'll just root for my team. Are you excited for any of the pieces the Cavs have? The young players, the core.
I mean, Cedi's good. I watched him today. I mean, he was just. I mean, granted, summer league, but he was dominating. I mean, granted, it was who they play today. Pacers.
Pacers, yes.
Yeah, I got to watch the whole calendar of summer league today. Work was amazing, but
well, Jetty was one of the players that the Spurs wanted to get.
Yeah, I mean, he looked good in the regular season when they gave him a chance. So I mean, he's got some talent. He's young too. I mean, I don't know if he's a corner piece of a franchise, but
I like Larry Nance. I think his game. I don't think the Cavs ever used him the right way. I don't think we played him the right way or had enough plays designed to go through him.
I think they did it first, and then they started messing around with, I don't know, LeBron probably didn't like him in that role or something. But, yeah. I mean, he's long, he's athletic, he can't shoot, but he can rebound. He definitely can dunk.
Good defense.
Yep.
What about our rookie? What do you think about Sexton?
What I saw today, he looked like a rookie, obviously. He's just trying to dribble too much. But he'll be good. I don't know. I don't know. I just can't. I don't know if I did so watch enough college basketball anymore, or just we've been so used to just having LeBron on our team, we just don't care about college players anymore. I know. I guess I'm going to start looking at them now because we're going to be in the lottery. So I think do we have draft picks before 2025 that aren't protected?
2035?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, do we keep Kevin Love? Do we move Kevin Love?
I'd move him.
Would you really?
Yeah. I mean, it depends how you look at it. I mean, I guess from the Cavs front office ticket sales standpoint, you got to have somebody there people don't want to come see. I guess that's maybe the draw.
It's going to be interesting.
He was a draw in Minnesota, but it's hard to say that he's a draw after LeBron was there, Kyrie's there. I don't.
Yeah,
It's gonna be weird buying. I mean, I don't live there, but it's gonna be weird for people living there to buy discount tickets at Drug Mart, 2 for $1 to go to the game because it's only get people in the stands.
It's gonna be brutal, man. Like it's a pretty big. I
mean, I know LeBron had a no trade clause in his contract, but I mean, he kind of left him high and dry. No one's really talking about that either. Like he just, cool. He gave us championship, so you just go.
That's the price you pay.
Yeah, I mean, they're in such salary cap hell, anyways. I doubt they could get anybody worth anything. But I don't know how the mathematics work on that. But
yeah, the mathematics are not stacked in our favor. We got a lot of players making a lot of money.
Yeah,
and it's going to take a couple of years to clear them out. I would fully expect to see a lot of these players gone.
I mean, Tristan, you had to pay Tristan at that time. You just had to. That's what LeBron wanted.
Yeah, LeBron does the passive-aggressive thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where, you got to do it that way, and if you don't, but then if you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. And,
right.
And then you
he does it, but without a burner account. He just says it.
No burner accounts. It's just,
no burner account. He just goes for it.
Yeah.
He doesn't say what he means. He just
just let it rip.
I agree.
I don't know. It's just looking in the rear view now at 11 years with LeBron and 1 title. It was great. That 2016. Yeah. I mean, I cried and I flew back home for the parade and I loved it. And it's very bittersweet. I would feel very differently if LeBron rode out his career and we kept retooling and trading some contracts and doing the best we could. And it's like, that LeBron is going to be the cornerstone of the Cleveland Cavaliers franchise. And even as he plays I think he's going to play until he's 50. I could be wrong, but he takes care of himself so well.
Mm-hmm.
I could see him playing until he's 50 years old. Like, I don't think we're done. I could see him in a Cavs jersey again. And what Dan Gilbert wrote in this last letter, this was almost like the wink nudge of, all right, I'll see you again.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go do your thing. You go play out there for a little bit. Let me clear the deck. Let me empty this out. We'll get a few new superstars in here. We'll get you back. And we'll try to draft your kid,
they'll do something that like tugs his heartstrings again. Like, I still think that the reason LeBron came back that time is, or convinced him, was that they had the Ilgauskas retirement night.
That was what did it?
No, but it probably helped.
Doesn't hurt.
The city forgave him by the time, like they let him come back and not boo him the entire time. Of course, desperation does a lot. But
yeah, I mean, look, LeBron got what he needed. He got that monkey off his back. People can't say, well, you never won in Cleveland. No, he did. Against all odds, and he broke a curse. So,
yeah.
Anyway, all right, Greg, let's do this. Let's wrap this up for now, because I think, look, I'm down to really have a good Browns conversation.
Yeah.
I think we've kind of we needed to end this Cavaliers stuff, and I think we did that tonight. I think we kind of worked through a lot of the angles we needed to.
Well, we're bumping up against the Wake Up Show, so on the East Coast here.
Oh my God, is it that? Oh my God.
That was the 10 a.m. Wake Up show on the East Coast here.
10 a.m. Wake Up.
Yeah.
We used to do the B&B Wake Up Show, I think is what we call it. B&B.
Yeah, he's probably got his Browns preview coming up soon, right?
We were 3 to 6 a.m. on Saturday night, Friday night. God, why did we do? We did that at Bowling Green because it was freeform. Brandon and I. We used to do a radio show because they let us play whatever we wanted.
He does the Browns preview every year.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, we got to get him back in soon. We kind of covered the draft right after, but I don't know. I'm hearing a lot of good stuff from Jarvis Landry about Tyrod Taylor. I don't know if that's because Ryan Tannehill sucked that much or...
That's my guess.
It could be both.
Yeah.
I mean, he led the league in passing. Someone was throwing it to him. He was getting open. Something was working.
Right.
But if he's more impressed with the new guy, I'll take it. That just means more production. If
he's a slot. Landry's a slot receiver, and he's got if this Callaway guy works out, you got 2 outside threats. So,
cool.
Or if Corey Coleman catches the ball, who knows?
Njoku, he's a beast.
Yeah. Njoku.
A full season of Josh Gordon? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Let's hope so.
Just let me have this. No hope. Let's just keep him clean. Keep him.
Yeah, let's end on a positive note here.
Yeah, let's end on a positive note. And the Buckeyes are title contenders every year.
Yeah, that's easy. That's easy. Easy right there.
That's easy to root for.
My phone is blowing up every day from Bleacher Report about they're signing 4-star, 5-star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I did I tell you in the beginning of the show or pre-show? I'll just assume it was pre-show. But when I wore my shirt,
pre-show. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wore my Brunswick football shirt out. Some guy asked if that was from New Jersey. I guess because of New Brunswick. And I was like, no, Ohio. And we started talking. And started talking about, did you play in college? I said, no, I played on undefeated high school team 2 years in a row. And then I almost walked on at Bowling Green, but I decided not to. And I started telling him that Urban Meyer was our head coach at the time. And it was a really important time for our program. Ben Roethlisberger was down.
Who was a wide receiver there when you went to school? Was there a really dominant wide receiver or quarterback or played both?
Josh.
Yep, it was Josh something.
Doggone it.
But you know what I'm talking about, right?
Well,
not dominant, but I guess maybe I would know his name because of Bowling Green, and he got some national attention.
Well, our quarterback, Josh Harris.
Yeah.
Is that who you were thinking of?
No, I thought there was a wide receiver there. There was I don't think he panned out anything in the pros or even went pro, but I thought he was very I feel like Bowling Green had a decent offense at that time.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm going off a tangent here, but yeah.
No, our offense was the really good part of
because it's Urban Meyer, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he played. Josh Harris went to the Baltimore Ravens.
That's right.
You know, it didn't really last too long, but he played.
Right.
Went on to the Cleveland Browns for 2 seasons before he was released. Canadian football, and then the New York Giants, and then Columbus Destroyers, and then retirement.
Good old Columbus Destroyers.
So you're looking for Urban Meyer's Bowling Green wide receiver.
I might be wrong. I might be thinking of NCAA football too.
Now I'm trying to look through.
I don't want to bore our audience of one here, which is me. So
no,
it's late. I understand.
It is late. Yeah, nothing better than dead air when you're trying to do a. All right. What schools did Urban coach at? Urban Meyer's first bowling.
This is one of my favorite shows, though. Brian Engelman searches the internet. So.
What's Off the Rails with Brian Engelman?
Off the Rails, yep.
Meyer's first team. If ESPN ever wanted to make a 30 for 30 on the 01 Bowling Green football team, and just about everyone involved on that team agrees it's a hell of a story, we can already give them the tagline. What if I told you that a team that didn't even make a bowl game changed college football history? That right.
Sounds like a tagline for 30 for 30.
That's right. The 01 Falcons were 8-3 on the year. Certainly a good season, but not a great one by many measures. The way things were done in the MAC conference at the time, that wasn't enough to qualify for postseason play. But dig a little deeper, and the story becomes more clear. It jumps off the page even. That first team nearly did the impossible, playing above its skill level and using sheer will to capture those 8 wins. Oh, and it did so under Urban Meyer.
Mm-hmm.
Bam, bam, bam. So I don't remember who we're talking about. Oh, are you talking about Pope? Well, he was the running back.
No, it might be the quarterback then, now that I think about it.
Yeah, Josh Harris was like the guy.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, now you got me wondering. I got to look up the whole roster. I'm going to keep this open and sift through it. But yeah, that was an incredible time. Having ESPN College Game Day coming to a MAC school back in 01, that was a big freaking deal.
Uh-huh.
That was kind of unheard of at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, football's a big deal. I don't know if it's different in the flyover states. I don't know if it's different in Ohio. I just know what it meant to me, and it was always just it was a symbol of what hard work can do if you decide to never give up. And growing up with the Cleveland Browns, a fantastic team with Bernie Kosar. I was too young for the Brian Sipe days.
Mm-hmm.
Way too young for the Otto Graham days.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a franchise that has a history. And with Bernie, we were one play away from the World Series. From the Super Bowl, multiple occasions.
Mm-hmm.
And that was brutal. That's what Cleveland sports have been known for. Get close, but no cigar every time.
Right.
So, it wasn't just LeBron winning a first championship for Cleveland since 1952 or whatever it was. It was literally breaking a curse. So, what LeBron did was truly special, and I really hope I'm not going to find the energy to hate LeBron, although he is such a douchey guy from time to time when he gets into his politics and his passive-aggressive stuff and, his media mogul mode when... we've seen it, and we've ignored a lot of it over the years.
I was going to say, I was listening to your show the other day with Zach, and there's, he has flaws. He just lived, as you said, in the protection of Cleveland. It could be different with all the paparazzi out there in L.A.
Yeah, and I've heard my stories too, and I don't have quite the confirmations that Zach does, or the confirmations that some other people have.
See, you should do a TMZ with Zach. There you go. There's your Cleveland. Yeah.
CMZ.
Your Cleveland. Yeah. Your Cleveland celebrity. Whatever.
Well, I mean, really, we for
show.
like 2 years, every time we did a show, it was name dropping something, right? Wasn't that your?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think you lived in what was it called? The apartment with Johnny Manziel, right? Same apartment complex. Apartment complex, since apparently nightclub.
Yeah, yes, I had actually went there. I had visited him, and then I went to that nightclub as well.
Right.
It's literally downstairs in an old bank vault.
That's interesting.
And yeah, I mean, a fight broke out right next to us when we got there, and it was exactly what you'd expect out of like a Bowling Green college Saturday night out. And I'm like, right. God, I don't need this in my life anymore. And it's like to know Johnny Manziel's hanging out there. You're like,
Johnny Manziel's hanging out uptown, downtown.
Oh, I had a lot of good time. Look, man, if I pieced out tomorrow, I lived a pretty good life. I had interesting times with interesting people. I had a lot of fun, and I think that's
I had a great time at Bowling Green. I didn't even go to school there.
Yeah, dude. You guys came up and got silly on more than one occasion, if I recall.
Like 3 months straight, I think, for one weekend. Binged there, but yeah.
Man, I lived a good life in my 20s. I'm all right. I don't feel like I missed out on too much.
We can all boil that into a comedy show one day here.
Yeah, we will. But the point is that sports is always important. Growing up in Ohio, it was always important to me. And, and knowing that we came from a prestigious pedigree, that we had we had championship DNA inside of us, but lately we were just the mistake by the lake. We were just the punchline to jokes. It got really old. And LeBron was able to change that. Let's hope the Cleveland Indians can bring home a World Series while they still have their window of opportunity. Let's hope the Cleveland Browns can get into the playoffs as soon as possible and really start ripping it up and causing some damage. Because we've suffered. We've suffered with the Browns. We've suffered with the Indians. I think we're due. And I like to think that sports matters. I know in the grand scheme of things, it's not, bringing world peace or anything, but I think sports matters.
I mean, it's it's a way. It's odd to me. Not odd, but I mean, we grew up in Cleveland, but I don't know anybody else's where they're like even their mothers will sit down and watch. They have to watch the Browns every Sunday. I mean, like my whole family, like that. Everything stops when the Browns are on. They're terrible, but that's what you do.
They're terrible.
I mean, but like I don't know. I guess maybe because I've lived down here half my life, it's not like that. When the Panthers terrible, no one cares. Like LA, they didn't have football. Apparently they still don't care. The Rams are good.
Yeah, I went to one of those games. It was interesting. I was trying to go to that one at the soccer stadium. It just didn't work out. But
are they sharing a stadium when they build one?
Let me double check Let me double check.
Okay.
I heard that there's a new facility being built for the Clippers, and that they're going to bring in. I'm just going to pause before I put my foot in my mouth. I got to double check.
Oh, okay.
But I did hear within the past 6 months or so that the Clippers just bought a whole bunch of land. They're going to move out of Staples Center, and they're going to bring one of the football teams with them. So
which is the football stadium that Kiefer Sutherland narrated the? You know what I'm talking about, right? You showed that to me. I think you put on like Kiefer Sutherland was narrating what the stadium would look like, and here's where all the VIP seats are. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay, yes, I do. It was kind of like the pitch.
Yes. Sorry, the sales pitch.
Yeah, I met Kiefer Sutherland too at a music conference out here. He's a musician.
Right.
Go figure. But
Flatliners, right? That's the name of his band. Just kidding.
Better than Sharpliners.
There you go.
Flat and sharp. Yeah, let me double check because they've been playing at USC, and then the Chargers came and they're playing at You know what? Let me just double